Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and today I'm bringing you a epic battle in Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD. It is a 1 versus 1 siege battle, and you can see that the enemy is pushing up to my gates now. I am the defenders, and I am playing as the Swiss Waldstein, and the attackers are the County of Toulouse. So I have pretty much cut out the beginning bombardment phase of the battle. You can see that the County of Toulouse has destroyed all 5 frontal towers and made a breach point in the wall, and he's pushing forward some of his spears to break down the gate. So looking at his army first, he's got about 4 units of these Scutiferi Cathari, so they're a late spear. And he has 2 units of bombard, so they've been doing most of the damage to my settlement. Then he's got about 3 units of these Militae Perfectae. He's got 1 unit of the Free Company Longbowmen. Here's some more of the spears. And he's got a lot of these Loricati, or kind of a basic infantry for the County of Toulouse. And he has 3 units of these Ecorcher crossbowmen. And here's the Count of Toulouse. Let's see if we can find... There he is right there, with a very big beard. And that's pretty much it. He's got a lot of the Militaes Perfecti. He's got some Militae Gregari. And he has a handgunner unit as well, so we'll be seeing how deadly they are. And some Pedites Loricati. So looking at my force, playing as the Swiss, I've got 3 units of the Uri Swordsmen. So they look pretty awesome with the gold and black color scheme there. And then my most elite infantry, 4 units of these Copper Shields. And then I've got 4 units of Crossbow Sergeants. And 3 units of the Zurich Swordsmen. So they're basically the same as the Uri Swordsmen. They're just a different clan, I would imagine. And way up in the back here, I've got 2 units of Heavy Pikemen. And here's some more Copper Shields, and that's pretty much my army. And then there, I'll show you at here, there's a gate at the back that he didn't attack from, so I brought out my cav. I've got 3 units total, with my general in 1, and they are the KYBURG Knights, looking very awesome and very deadly in these trees. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The battle will begin very shortly. You can take a look. It's about 40 minutes for this battle, so definitely make yourselves comfortable. You can see that the balance of power is out of my favor, but it's not too terrible, and I actually have more men than him, surprisingly. So I'm starting with just over 2,000 men. He's starting with just under 2,000. And the money, I believe, 15k for me, 20k for him. So you can see that he's pushing forwards his spears here, starting to take the gates. Take a look at that with the ruined gates, looking very awesome and very epic. As a defender, I really didn't even bother trying to hold the outer walls, just because he had 2 units of bombard. My men would have just gotten destroyed. He would have destroyed these towers from afar anyways. So you can see that he's moving up all of his ranged units. I think he plans to get into the settlement and kind of set up to skirmish me down in the choke points, which is very good for an attacker to plan. And I see that he's moving up his crossbows, so I don't really want to just be picked apart. So I'm going to send forward 2 units of my Zurich swords. Yeah, ooh, you can see that the bombard just unleashing their fire. Crossbows also coming in as well, really shredding me apart here. Or as Lionheart would say, I'm getting rinsed right now. That's his favorite word. But you can see that the spears are in shield wall here. I'm going to try and charge in my swords on one flank and then commit with another. But to be honest, I think this was his plan all along, just to send one of his spears and lock up my units and then just shell them with arrows. Yeah, you can see that we're really not making too much headway. Siege towers are moving forwards. Yeah, you can just hear the arrows coming in. You can see the men that just get struck by the arrows fall to their knees. So yeah, in hindsight, probably not the best thing to do. Two of these swords have been pretty much wasted at this point. You can see that the County of Toulouse pushing in some of his milites perfecti and some loricati. But yeah, just against 4 crossbows, there's really not much I can do to hold this. You can see that I'm actually pulling back a lot of my other swords, because this is just not a battle that I really am winning right now, that's for sure. Yeah, these halberds are going to make short work of my cheap swords. Oh, losing a head there. Yeah, already breaking, but you can see a couple of my crossbows coming in, getting some kills. Trying to really focus the milites perfecti just because they've got pretty low missile chance block, but kind of coupled in with the spears, yeah, he's done a really good job of cleaning me up on this flank. And they're already cheering. Those lousy French. So yeah, if you guys read the description, a little bit of the backstory here, I do try to kind of have like a cool story to go with every one of my battles. So the County of Toulouse...
Our gates have fallen to the enemy.
Yes, yes, yes. The County of Toulouse, as you guys know, is actually a client state of the French Empire. And France has been fighting England for who knows how long during the 100 Years' War. And the French actually don't like how strong the Swiss have been getting. So they've actually charged the French with taking the main capital here. And this is the main capital. I know it kind of looks Eastern-like, but you guys will just have to use your imagination. But yes, so the Swiss are going to have to hang on here and hope that they can hold out against the army of Toulouse. But at this point, he's pretty much won the outer walls, just like that. Pretty much slaughtered 2 units of my swords, and he's moving the rest of his infantry in, as you can see. I like these shields, though, for the County of Toulouse, like the gray with the white. Looks very, very cool, very medieval. These ones, a little bit too colorful to me. I don't really like those as much. But I love the color scheme of the archers. Really, really cool. They're just watching their comrades charging into the city. You can see the flag of Toulouse has been flown. And then you can see just the slaughter of my men on the field. But moving forwards here, I pretty much pulled back, but you can see that I've pushed up a unit of my crossbows. We're actually going to be focusing this unit of milites perfecti.
My blood! I will not end like this!
Just because, again, really low missile chance block. They have no shields. So they have really, really heavy armor, but I am using heavy shot. So hopefully we'll be able to kind of tear them down a bit. Yeah, you can see a couple of them falling down there. This guy's still alive, trying to get back up. Yeah, you can see the archers over here. Only a couple are firing, just because it's not the best position. But yeah, the bombard also unleashing hell on these poor crossbows. I'm trying to move them back a bit, their forwards a bit, to get a better position. You can see that the County of Toulouse is sending up his crossbows, and he realizes that he's losing men here, so he's pulling back the halberds and moving forwards his spears. But yeah, you can see we've already lost a good number of men to the cannons, so I'm going to try and pull them back as quickly as I can. You can see that I've got an elite unit of copper shields here at shield wall. They're going to be charged with holding this flank. Crossbows pulling back. Yeah, so you can see a lot of my crossbows cut down in retaliation. But looks like one of the bombard crews is wasted its ammo because they are charging in against my copper shields. And this is going to be a slaughter for them. I do like the little axes that they're fighting with, though. Ooh, yeah, a lot of them being cut down, but what do you expect, right? Against my elite heavy infantry, these guys are not going to withstand. There we go. They've already broken. Look at this guy. He's just cutting down like 4 or 5 men. But the crossbows are coming in at this point. You can see he's got a lot of his crossbows over here firing at my men, which is a little bit annoying. But here we go. He's going to move forwards the elite spears. Just taking a look at what else is going on. So you can see that he's pretty much moved all of his men inside the fortress. And as for my cav, you can see that they're slowly making their way around. I'm really saving them for the best opportunity for attack. But yeah, you can see the balance of power has slipped even more out of my favor. I actually have less men now than the enemies do. So that has definitely changed. But yeah, we've got the spears just kind of sitting here waiting. I'm trying to fire at them with my crossbows, but they don't really have a good position to do that. Just see the arrows going over the heads of the spears. They're kind of waiting for their order to attack. Up the streets they come. There goes the crossbows, but they have such large shields, they're really not going to get many kills. Let's try and get the clash here, even though the camera is a little bit glitchy, but...
Come on, you monkeys! Do you want to live forever?
There we go. So the spears have engaged, and that is actually good for me, because their crossbows can no longer effectively fire on these copper shields, so I am definitely okay with them engaging me in battle. Looking to other points of the battle, they're a little bit more hesitant of attacking my town center just because it's so well defended, but you can see that he's got a lot of infantry ready to go at a moment's notice. And he's got his general back here, kind of just chilling. You can see I'm slowly moving my cav over just to get into a position that's even close enough to attack from. And yes, here comes the Milites Perfecti. They're quickly charging into this battle. You can see that they're already a little bit bloodied from the crossbow shots that they've taken. But let's follow these guys into battle up the hill. Looking very epic. Very nice. So now they are engaged as well, but the copper shields are still holding pretty effectively. Let's go ahead and get out of that. Yeah, so my crossbows not actually being too effective, and the enemy crossbows getting a ton of kills on my Yuri swords, as you can see. A lot of them being slaughtered here. I didn't even notice this was happening. So now that they're so depleted, they're pretty much at half strength. I'm just going to move them into battle behind the copper shields. But yeah, you can see the men of just getting mowed down. My crossbows also taking a lot of enemy fire. But pretty much just committing more and more bodies to the fight. And still pretty much this is the only clash. A lot of his crossbows, a couple of his crossbows have used a decent amount of their ammo, but other ones are still pretty full, as you can see. And he's moving his handgunners actually over to the other flank. But his general is still sitting here, which is good news for me. I'm just a little bit worried about this spear unit, so that's why I haven't moved forwards anymore. But it is actually starting to move out at this point. So... But yeah, this is pretty much the main infantry grind. Ooh.
Our men flee the field of battle.
And that's my crossbows breaking. But my copper shields are still holding quite well, considering they're up against a halberd unit and a spear. And I am actually preferring to have them in closed combat just so the crossbows can't just keep peppering them down. But yes, you can see over here that he's moved over his crossbows. And he actually is setting up his handgunners as well to try to get some shots off. But you can see that I'm going to be moving back my copper shields. I don't want them to be in range because they will just get shredded by the handgunners. So they will form shield wall up the hills a little bit. You can see I've got my crossbows in a pretty decent position to attack the enemy from. And the general is still sitting there. You can see I'm just pushing forwards a couple units of my KYBURG knights. I'm leaving my general back just in case they do get discovered. I don't really want my general to be killed this early in the battle. But I'm going to move them up to this little patch of trees here just to try to get them a little bit closer while still remaining hidden. Oh, that looks epic. These KYBURG knights are awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, turning on the HUD, yes, you can see that he's moving forwards his gunners, and he also has his crossbows firing at the flank of these crossbow sergeants over here. Yeah, you can see that he's trying to get in range with his gunners, but I've got 3 units, actually. Oh, yeah. You can see getting some kills on my copper shields there. But I'm actually getting some decent kills on these gunners as well, because they have a really poor rate of fire, so it takes them a lot longer to fire than my crossbows do. Just picking them apart. And I'm pretty sure this is a decently expensive unit as well, so losing this unit early in the battle isn't the best. Because they can definitely do some damage to choke points as well. So yeah, to be honest, the gunners aren't really going to do too much here. They're already lost a third of their units, so... Over on this side, you can see that I've brought up another unit of Zurich swordsmen behind the copper shields, because the copper shields are about half strength, and the Yuri swordsmen are about half strength as well. But they still hold. These copper shields are the elite of the elite for the Swiss, so... You can see I'm pushing forwards my Yuri swordsmen to kind of bolster the lines. Really good fight here so far. As far as the enemy is concerned, their halberds are at about 2/3 and their spears are at about half, so that's a pretty fair trade-off. These two units are pretty expensive. And you can see that his gunners are breaking here. I think that they just were rallied, but they will break again from the shots from the crossbows.
Stand steady!
They're not even facing the right way at this point, so... Ooh, yep, that's pretty much the rest of their unit gone. Getting a couple more shots off before they're killed. Again, firing at that unit of copper shields up there. But, yeah, they broke in, so that is awesome for me. But my crossbows have also taken, you know, fairly good losses. So I'm going to move them into the protection behind the walls. And you can see my KYBURG Knights, they're still just chilling there because he was very, very smart and actually moved up his general so that I couldn't get a charge off. So I was really worried that I was too late and that I wasn't going to get a good charge. You just see the fighting with the blue and the gold holding back this horde of French mercenaries. Well, they're not really mercenaries, but, you know, they're doing France's bidding.
Big fall to the enemy! Grim news!
So still holding quite well over there. And you can see that my plans have kind of changed. So I'm actually going to move this catapult up onto the ridge over here. It's going to give me a way better position of the entire battlefield and give me some excellent height to be able to attack the enemy from. So they will be moving up there. But how are we looking on other sides of the battle? Yeah, you can see, I'm pretty sure that this is mostly just from the handgunners, so almost half of the unit lost just to the handgunners, and they really didn't get that many kills at all, so... You can see that I'm kind of baiting him in, so I've completely evacuated this town center, because I want to kind of bait him up here with his crossbows, try and get them out of position. And yeah, you can see that the halberds are actually breaking and the spears are wavering, which was really good news for me, because that means that my copper shields with my Yuri swords have held on this flank. Nice. Yep, so they're gone. Yeah, so they pulled back to the general's bodyguard, and the general's like, "How dare you? You do not break in my sight." I've got one of my swords down here too. That's so funny.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle.
Yeah, so really, really good holding on that flank. Yeah, and you can see that I have kind of pulled his crossbows a little bit closer. So I'm going to be pushing my crossbows and my men back. And I'm actually going to be pulling down my pikes and my copper shields from this ridge. And just, I've got another pike unit coming down over here, because it looks like he's only going to be attacking from these two fronts, so I don't really need to hold the back entrances or anything like that. But my catapult is moving up to the ridge here. Hopefully he will be in position soon to get some good shots on the enemy. But yes, you can see that he's committed some of his Loricati now. And they are actually doing some decent damage to my copper shields and Yuri swords.
The men have given up and are running for their lives.
Yeah, you can see that both units are broken. But I've got the Zurich swords next in line. They're in shield wall just in time. And my copper shields and Yuri swords have come back from routing, so they're going to bolster the lines again. We've got some of the routing halberds. They are coming back to the battle as well. We got the spears coming back as well.
The men are broken and running for their lives.
Oh, you can see that the catapults have started to fire now, because he has committed some of his men over on this side. Yeah, some big hits against these units over here. He's got a unit of spears with a unit of crossbows that have used all their ammo. So yeah, my catapult firing over that way. But you can see that I've actually got a little bit of a plan. I've kind of figured out a way that maybe I can turn things a bit into my favor. So what I'm actually doing here is setting up these catapults, and I'm going to be firing it over top of this ridge here and trying to hit the general. He has his general really, really close by, and I don't think that he realizes that I have a catapult. And my aim here is not to kill the general, just because I try to follow the the gentleman's code as best as possible, you know, not to kill the general. But if I can scare the general back to the walls, yeah, there we go, getting some good kills. If I can scare the general back over to the walls, then that's going to be good for me. And look, he does actually pull his general back. And he's going to bring him right back to where he started. So the general is not dead at this point. He's only lost a couple of men, 6 men to that. But yes, what it's done is actually forced him to put his general back over to here. And I think that that's when I can activate my KYBURG Knights, which he also has no idea that I have. But yeah, you can see some of my crossbows are breaking. But also his military's perfectes are breaking as well. So it's, again, just down to the Loricati. And then over there you can see that the spears are starting to waver from the catapult fire. But yes, you can see that my cav is coming forwards here to catch the general unawares.
Unit is running from the enemy.
I think that the player I was playing against thought that he would be safe over here. But yeah, nice charge there with the KYBURG Knights engaging the general into combat. Yeah, so we definitely outnumber the general in this position. And he does notice eventually what's going on. I'm trying to pull one of my units of KYBURG Knights through the general to block him. But he's also pulling his general away, so I actually recommit the KYBURG Knights to slow him down. But that entire charge only killed about three of his general's bodyguard. And you can see that he's quickly rushing up a lot of his halberds to try and defend his general. And he's committing his general here at this point. And here comes the halberds to kind of stop my men. I get a decent charge on the halberds with my KYBURG knights, but you see I've got one unit here, and I've split off the other unit to go after that sword infantry. Let's try and get up at the front here. So yeah, the sword infantry was actually holding strong, but this nice charge with the KYBURG knights into the backs of them, that is definitely going to break them. And you can see that he's committing another unit of swords here to try to catch my knights, but as soon as they broke, I actually pull my knights through my shield wall just so I can try to save as many as possible. And with my other unit of KYBURG knights, I actually just retreat them out of the castle. So looking at the balance of power now, it's actually just about half. We repelled the first attack over on this flank, but pretty substantial losses. My Yuri swordsman down to about 2/3, and my copper shields down to less than half. But yeah, you can see he's got his crossbows set up just firing at them. Yeah, I'm pulling my unit of KYBURG, trying to still get my unit of KYBURG knights out of there. You can see that I did lose a lot, but I think in routing that unit of Loricati, it was worth it.
Enemy units have been rallied.
They did rally again, but I'm not that worried about it, to be honest. And you can see here I brought my other unit of KYBURG knights back into the battle. I'm going to try and break that unit that did come back from routing and then try and get into the halberds, if I can. You can see that he noticed it, so he's turning around quickly to try to hold on. But I'm just going to ignore them because I don't want to charge directly into that. And I'm going to go right into these crossbows over here on this flank. Come on, men. Yeah, see, trying to dodge that unit of Loricati. And then get right into the crossbows. Nice. Yeah, good playing there. So, a lot of my KYBURG knights are lost at this point. They are pretty depleted, but I think it's really a fair trade-off for the disorganization that I've caused. And you can see my KYBURG knights over here. I push back the crossbows from firing at my men. And it looks like he's going to commit with these spears here.
The men have thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
The camera doesn't really get me any lower than that, but yeah, you can see a lot of dead French on the ground here amidst my copper shields. There we go. So the engagement has happened over here, which is good again for me because now the crossbows cannot really effectively fire into my men. Just make sure we're not missing any more of the battle. We can kind of probably put it in slow motion a bit here. Yeah, you can see that he's really still working on this flank to break through. But I'm just kind of funneling my troops back into the battle that have broken. I just put them back in. And I've got another unit of fresh Yuri swords to kind of hold shield wall and hold these units back. I think most of my KYBURG knights have broken, except there's one unit over here that's still alive. Looking at the enemy force, yeah, he's got his crossbows still left. He's got a couple units of the halberds, a couple units of his swords, and his general's bodyguard as well. But the The balance of power is about half, and I've got just over 1,000 men, and he has under 1,000. So the odds of manpower are back in my favor, I would say, for sure. But I've got a lot of wavering going on. You can see that my men are starting to break here. That was my copper shields breaking. But I've got my Yuri swords over here defending against these spears. They are having to fight an uphill battle, so that's good for me. And it looks like he's got some halberds in the fight there as well. Yes, he does. He charged in some Milites Perfecti. We can go ahead and put it back on play there. So about 7 minutes left into the battle. So it's really coming down to it, if I'm honest. I've pretty much got most of my infantry engaged. You can see I'm pushing forward my pikes over on this flank. And I have a unit of pikes and a fresh unit of copper shields here. But that's pretty much it for me. And looking at the enemy, yeah, I'm trying to fire into this flank here. I really just want this flank to be over with. I'm losing a lot of... ooh, I'm losing a lot of good men over here for sure. You can see with the flames there. And it looks like somebody's breaking there though. Is that them breaking? Yes, it is. So it's just the Milites Gregari still left, but I'm pushing forwards my pikes. So that's really going to help give me the edge against these halberds on this flank here. Ooh, yeah, a lot of them dying to the pikes here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yep, there they go. They've both broken. And you can see that I'm creeping forwards my general as well, another KYBURG Knight unit. I'm looking for an opportunity to go for these crossbows, because they are actually quite out in the open. But this is pretty much what it's down to now in the center of this fight. You can see that the halberds are actually making some headway, but I've got another unit of copper shields here defending. Yeah, a lot of bodies going to be piled up on this ramp for sure before the day is done. But you can see that I'm moving forwards my pikes here. So this is really, again, going to give me the edge in the choke point battle. Just pushing these pikes forwards, they're going to force the halberds back down. Oh, some big hits with the artillery there, getting a lot of friendly fire, but also some enemy fire as well. Yeah, very nice with the artillery hits. Readjusting my pikes to try to hold on this flank here. You can see that those halberds are actually starting to break. Good play by the enemy here. I did move some crossbows over here to get some kills on this Loricati unit, but he actually did break it with his general's bodyguard. But he won't be able to flank around because I have a fresh unit of copper shields over on this side. And the tower is also kind of firing at the general's bodyguard as well. But yeah, you can see that I got that depleted unit of KYBURG Knights into the backs of this crossbow unit. And my general's bodyguard is coming around the corner as well. The French are trying to retaliate by moving up more crossbows. But I take that depleted unit of KYBURG Cav and I just charge them into the crossbows to keep them from firing at me. Yeah, there they go, sacrificing their lives for the good of the king. But yeah, there is a counter charge by the Count of Toulouse. And that KYBURG Cav is going to lay down their lives. Yeah, that's some broken there. But yeah, you can actually see that I didn't even manage to break that crossbow unit. They are very elite. So I just disengaged because I didn't want to be shot by the crossbows. But yeah, at this point it's just a massive mob coming up the steps here. You can see my pikes with some Yuri swords holding back the horde of French. Oh, big hit there. Oh man, they're so condensed. That's just probably 30 kills right there. Take a look at the view from the attackers. I've got more Yuri swords coming to the front lines. But yeah, coming back down to the last 2 minutes of the battle, I did charge that unit of crossbows again, and I'm now moving my general's bodyguard to take out these crossbows. They are probably going to get another volley off before I engage them. But that's okay. Oh, not even. Wow. Oh, just decimated. Yeah, that unit is going to break very quickly.
Men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
And I think, is that the general's bodyguard broken? Yes, it is. And this unit that the general's bodyguard had broke before actually came back from routing. So what I'm doing is I'm using that crossbow unit to actually fire into the backs of the troops fighting up the steps there. And with the artillery fire too, oh, just getting a ton of kills. It's really just too much. Look, that's like 10 bodies there. Dead on the ground. With the tower blazing as well. Yeah, a lot of them wavering and coming back. These spears actually trying to go after my general. But I think they're very tired at this point. There's not much that they're going to be able to do. Forming up their wall. I think he's trying to keep these spears here so that I can't get around his men with my general, but... Oh, and they just break before I can get my general into the battle. But yes, guys, a Pyrrhic victory, but a victory nonetheless. It really came down to the wire. Very, very epic battle. So let's take a look at the results here. So yeah, 764 remaining for me, 405 for the enemies. So 60 kills as general, not too bad. A couple units of the halberds getting almost 100 kills. His crossbow's really doing well, though, 186, 137. But the rest of his heavy infantry really just didn't pay for themselves, I don't think. Looking at my kills, the pikes didn't really engage until the end, but this one's still got 196 kills, so that's really good. These Yuri swords and Zurich swords didn't really perform too well, but I think they did their job in kind of holding the enemy back for long enough, and then the copper shields kind of finished everything off. My crossbow's doing okay, the catapult doing great, 286 kills there, and my KYBURG Knights, this one getting 162 kills. So yeah, guys, thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate you that you guys stuck around till the end. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD content on my channel, and I will see you in the next one.